And now let's take a deep dive into the US market within the S&P 500 market. And if you look at it briefly, we can see that one of the major sectors within the S&P 500 is facing a red sea. And we will start with one of the larger sectors, the technology, with Microsoft is down by 0.04% as of this morning. As we know, the Microsoft will widen the availability of its artificial intelligence-powered tool for cybersecurity professionals from April 1st and adopt a pay-as-you-go strategy for the assistant, the company said on Wednesday. Soft launch last year, Security Copilot lets analysts run queries through a simple prompt box to help with tasks like summarizing incidents, analyzing vulnerabilities, and sharing information with co-workers on a pinboard. Roughly 300 customers are currently using a tool, a Microsoft official said at an event in San Francisco. The tech giant plans to charge customers for how much they use the product rather than on a subscription basis, as it wanted to reduce the barrier of entry. And we can see next for Adobe is also down by 0.96%, and Oracle is also down with 1.58%. And next, under the consumer electronics and the technology as Apple, we can see Apple is facing red seas with a 1.21% negative. And Apple made a major concession in its battle to protect the dominance of its App Store on iPhones and offer devices in Europe on Tuesday, saying developers will be free to distribute their apps directly to consumers. Apple announced the changes to comply with the European Union's Digital Markets Act, DMA, which kicked in last week. The changes could dent the high profit margins and steady stream of revenue that Apple has come to rely on from its App Store, where it charges developers fees of up to 30%. The changes, which affect only the European Union, EU, come amid continuing criticism from rivals that Apple's compliance efforts are falling short. Beginning this spring, software developers operating in Europe will be able to distribute apps to EU customers directly from their own website instead of through the Apps Store. And for semiconductor, NVIDIA is also facing a negative this morning by 1.11%, following by Intel. Also, we can see a very low in the market. This morning is 4.4%. We can see semiconductor is facing a very the brightest red among other sectors or industry within the S&P 500. And we're going to move on with the Google. Google for this morning is opposite the Red Sea, which is up by 0.82% as of the morning. And Google is restricting AI chatbot Gemini from answering questions about the global election set to happen this year, the Alphabet-owned firm said on Tuesday, as it looked to avoid potential missteps in development of the technology. The update comes at a time when advancement in generative AI, including image and video generation, have fanned concern of misinformation and fake news among the public, prompting governments to regulate the technology. When asked about elections such as the upcoming US presidential matchup between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Gemini responded with, "I'm still learning how to answer this. In the meantime, try Google search." Google had announced restrictions within the US in December, saying they would come into effect ahead of the election. And next update for Meta. Meta cannot stop the US Federal Trade Commission from reopening a probe into its Facebook unit's privacy practices for now a US appeals court rule, despite Meta's objections that it's already paid $5 billion fine and agreed to a range of safeguards. The FTC wants to tighten an existing 2020 Facebook privacy settlement to ban profiting from minors' data and expand curbs on facial recognition technology. The agency has accused Meta of misleading parents about protection for children. The decision from the US Court of Appeals from the DC Circuit was a setback for Meta, which has asked the court to freeze the FTC case while it pursues a separate lawsuit challenging the FTC's inquiry on constitutional grounds. The appeals court said the FTC stated privacy concerns implicate important public interests and that Meta would have an opportunity to contest any final action by the agency. Meta, in a statement, said the court orders does not address the substance of the FTC allegation, which are without a merit. And as of this morning, Meta is also down by negative 0.8%. We can see that is also Meta is down, and Amazon under the internet retail sector is up by 0.66%. And this is the latest update of the US market within the S&P 500 index. So we can see as of 14 March 2024. Surely we will bring you for more updates, and that's it for Niaga Awani. I'm Nina Rosman. Catch you on the next.